Hey everyone, I know that there's been a lot of requests for automating the process from the output we get in Zimmwriter, uploading it to WordPress. So I created this spreadsheet that starts from the idea generation all the way through to uploading to WordPress. So hopefully you guys find this helpful. Shameless plug, if you do find this helpful, please consider donating. This is just something that would be super encouraging to me and continue to help me build products, help support this and other things that we may develop to also incorporate into Zimmwriter. If you'd like to donate, please, on this spreadsheet, there's going to be an AI assistant tab right here, and you just go down to donate to the creator. It's going to be me. Got a young family, got a couple kids under the age of 3, so this would be super helpful for me and my wife. And whenever you do click that, it's going to take you to this Stripe checkout. You can change the amount that you'd want to donate up here, and then you can put in your information on this side, and whenever you donate, you're just going to get a thank you note right here, and then that's all there is to it. But I want to show you how to use this tool. This tool is going to look like this, but to get things started, what you're going to get is you're going to get this link that's going to ask you to make a duplicate copy. So whenever you get that, you're going to paste it in here. It's going to end with this copy sheet. If you do not do this and you request permission to access it, I'm not going to give you permission because it's going to ruin it for everyone else. Just create a copy of it. So whenever you do that, you're going to get this page right here. On this page, you're going to say create a copy. You can view the app script file if you want. The app script file is kind of what runs everything. It's where all the functions are, things like that. But you'll just make a copy. When you make a copy, you'll get your own template right here. So you're going to be able to edit this. But whenever you do this, you'll put in all of your information right here. I'm going to talk about this in a second. And then you select the turbo, things like that. But before you're able to do anything, you're going to get this AI assistant. It's going to take a couple of seconds to pop up. But once you do, go ahead and click anything on there as far as any of these functions, because we have to authorize the app script to start. In order to do that, you just hit continue, select your Google account, select advanced, scroll down, and then go to AI assistant. So when it does that, then you're just going to give it permission to allow it to read the files that are in Google Drive to upload to the following Zimmwriter, edit this sheet, everything like that. So we're going to hit allow. Awesome. Once we do that, we're ready to go. I created a demo sheet, so I'm going to walk through this demo sheet. It's going to be the exact same sheet, but it has all of my information already stored in the back end so that you won't be able to access it. You won't be able to see all that stuff. But whenever you guys do walk through it on your own, you're going to have to put in your own OpenAPI key right here. So it's going to look something like SK dash some of the random numbers, letters, things like that. So you put that here, your username. This is going to be admin, whatever you use to log on to your WordPress for the username, and whatever your password is for your URL for or whatever your password is for WordPress, you put it there. And then this is going to be something to the effect of mysite.com. Let me just go ahead and I'm going to copy this. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to need 2 Google Drive folders, and you're going to need to set this up. So if you have Google Drive, great, you're already there. But if you're not, you're going to have to do some setup to get to Google Drive. But in order to do this, you're going to go to Google Drive and you're going to make 2 folders. So in this one, we're going to have 2. One is going to be the image folder. So this is where all the images are going to get generated. So it's going to be up here. In this, right here, this URL up here, at the very end of the URL, after this folder slash, you're going to have that folder ID right there. So we're going to go ahead and copy that. And then we are going to put it into the box right here. And then we're going to do the same thing for the Zimmwriter output. Again, it's up here. See everything after this folder slash in the URL. We're going to copy that. And we're going to put it into here. Awesome. So now that we're here, we're going to need to decide or tell it what kind of niche we want if we want it to generate content automatically. So for this example, I'm just going to put gardening. And then I'm going to put the perspective of a master gardener. Awesome. So that way, these are just going to get substituted into the script. I'm going to use GPT 3.5 Turbo for now. Not really looking for quality, just looking for speed, looking for cheap right now, just for the sake of this. Down here, what I want to bring you note. So we can generate the feature image automatically. So Matt, with the output that he made, has that Imagine prompt, which we can put into Midjourney. We don't have access to Midjourney, but we have access to DALL-E, theoretically. So if you don't have access with your API key, make sure you do get access to DALL-E via your API key. So it's going to use that same WordPress API key up here to generate those images. It's going to feed the prompt and get that output image there. But if you want that, you're going to go ahead and check that. Otherwise, it won't generate a featured image for you. For cost, this is going to accrue the costs that come up as we're generating ideas and things like that. And it's also going to add in the cost from Zimmwriter into here so that we can get a total estimated cost to see how much things are going for. Finally, on this page, we just need to make sure that we check to say, hey, we did read and we agree to the terms of use for OpenAI. And for this tool, just basically says that you are responsible for everything that's created with the tool. I'm not, you guys are. This is for your tool. So you just say, yes, I agree. And we are all set up. So to get started, we're going to go to this categories tab right here. So in this categories tab right here, we have a list of categories. We're going to start to generate those with this AI assistant up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at the top and we're going to work our way through all of these, right? But to get started, it's going to generate 10 categories for us to kind of filter through, see which ones we like, see which ones we don't. But it's going to create a list of categories. Sometimes the formatting doesn't quite work out where they kind of look a little weird. So you might need to do a little bit of editing, but for now, I think these look great. I'm going to start with, let me just start with 2, just to show you a little bit of an example. So what we want to do is if you want to skip one for now, we're going to go ahead and hit skip. But we wanted to leave it on there. We'll see how that goes. But planting techniques. So what I want to do is I want to generate some subtopics or tags for planting techniques. So what we want to do from there is we want to go to click generate tags. So what it's going to do is it's going to read that planting techniques and it's going to give us tags associated with that. So we can create those subcategories within the larger category. And then we can go through, and as you can see here, it's going to give us this pop-up box to see how much these things are costing as they do register those. And that is also going to be found here as well. You can see that number slowly going up. So let's say, okay, I like these, but for the sake of an example, I'm just going to go narrow it down to container gardening, right? Container gardening. Awesome, we got some there. But then let's say I do want to go back and get some of this gardening basics. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to AI Assistant. I'm going to generate tags, and so now it's going to look through the gardening basics and give us some ideas there. So that's what that skip column is for, and this allows us to generate some ideas. And okay, awesome. I like these. So again, I'm going to just narrow it down to 1 just for the sake of this tutorial. We're going to have 2 examples. Let's see. I'm going to do 3 examples. I'm going to have 3 examples here. And then we can, again, skip if we want. But it's going to generate then. So then our next step, if we want to add these categories straight to WordPress, we can do that. It'll just upload those categories that we have here straight to WordPress. And then if we want, make sure you don't have tag skip labeled in order to do that. And then you can also do the same thing with the tags. We'll upload those tags straight to WordPress as well. So that way, whenever we generate articles, it's going to be able to assign the articles to the tags that we have. So the next step after adding tags, we can add those article titles or generate article titles. So as you can see here, it's blank. So we're going to generate some article titles right now. So what it's going to do, it's going to go through these and it's going to give us a few titles. So I'm going to give it a second. Awesome. So there we go. So this is what it's going through is this container gardening, right here. And it's going to give us 10 article ideas for that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to narrow it down to one here, tags. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to remove this real quick. And then I'm going to use so after I remove that, okay, I'm going to go back to here. Okay, so what I want to do, I'm going to narrow it down to 2 for this, and I'm going to generate 10 more article titles based on the starting seeds indoors and the gardening basics. And so what it's going to do is it's going to generate 10 more article ideas for me right now. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to narrow it down to 2 right now, right? And so we've been working through all of these, each of these buttons right now. The next thing we need to do is we're going to end up using Zimmwriter. And so if you haven't already used Zimmwriter, I'm going to put a link below. Please go check it out. It's awesome. Get the lifetime deal while it's still available. I want to encourage you to do that. But I'm going to show you a little bit how to use that. So what we're going to do is, especially with this new bulk writer, we're going to get a list of article titles for Zimmwriter. So it's going to loop through all of them in this list. Right now we only have 2, but it's going to give us a list right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this list. We're going to go to the bulk blog writer within it. So I'm going to just paste that list into here. I'm going to do 5 subhead H2s for now. I'm going to do short. No voice. I'm not going to add anything into this. I'm going to put a master gardener in here. Yeah, I'm not going to add anything more. Just going to leave it at GPT 3.5 Turbo for the sake of this tutorial. Then I'm going to go ahead and hit Start Bulk Writer. It's going to confirm these are the 2 articles that I do want, which do match these 2 right here. Awesome. Let's go. So it's going to go ahead and start working on those. While it's working on those, you're going to be able to see it in the bottom screen. I want to get you coordinated with 2 other options, or a few other options that you might have. One is you can download Google Drive for desktop, and what that'll do is it'll allow you to sync your output folder from Zimmwriter to your Google Drive if you'd like. So what you do is you download that, and you're on a Mac, we have the little drive box up here. Windows, I think you have an application somewhere. So what you're going to do is use that, and then once you sign in, you're just going to create this, or you're going to hit this gear icon, go to Preferences. From your MacBook Pro, this is again our example, you just want to sync it or add that folder with your output. So this is where it gets saved. My Zimmwriter files get saved, and so I would click Open, but I already have that saved right here. So, but what happens is this file, so it's going to get saved here, is going to sync the outputs to this. So as they get finished, they'll automatically get uploaded. So if you use this folder ID right here into this, the Google Drive folder for Zimmwriter, then it will be able to upload them automatically. Or it'll, not automatically, but it'll be already synced, so you don't have to drag and drop and move things in there. So, but I'm going to leave that here for now, as this is still continuing to work. The next thing I want to show y'all is how to set up a trigger. So what happens is a trigger is something that's going to run automatically in the background. So while this is going, let's say we do, for the sake of this, is I'm going to leave this as that automated output. So whenever they do upload automatically, I am going to sync it so that the trigger is going to, so whenever it gets done, that trigger will upload it automatically into our spreadsheet. So what we need to do is go to Extensions, App Script, and once it gets opened up, you're going to go to this trigger ID or box right here. This trigger box, we're going to go to Add Trigger down at the bottom. We're going to do, for this one, we're going to go to Upload Text from Zimmwriter folder. I'm going to do time driven. So what it does is we're going to say every 30 minutes, it's going to check to see if it needs to upload that context from that folder to our file. And so let's see, I'm going to do every minute for now, so just so we can see how it works. So let's go ahead and click save there. Awesome, so that's going to work. And so this folder for our outputs that we saw up here in the preferences, so our Google Drive folder where this is going to get saved to automatically. So it's going to come into here whenever it gets done. So it started on 1, it's finalizing that. It should appear up there within the next minute, so whenever it does run that trigger. So what it's going to do in here is it will load all this. It'll load that meta description from that file that Matt has created. You can edit the draft status, so always recommend doing draft first, so that way you can upload it, make sure it looks good, and then publish it later. I don't like comments on my WordPress, so I just leave those as closed. You can read it open if you do want your post to have comments available. The content is going to be in there. And then if you want to, if you want to upload it at a certain time, what we can do is we can set it, let's say, I'm going to do 2023. So right now it is April 5th. So I'm going to set these 2 dates in the past so you can see what happens whenever they're set in the past. And then this is just to tell it whether or not it has been uploaded to WordPress or not. Let's see. So post ID, when it does get uploaded to WordPress, it's going to generate a post ID. It's going to tell us when it's created and the URL. This information down here is just going to be the image that gets generated from what Matt has given us from that prompt. It's going to be the ID of the image, description. Then finally, we're going to have the cost of the article that is from Zimmwriter. So that will all be, that's how you modify or edit each of these lines. So let's go ahead and go to this folder that we have. Awesome. So this one, let me make sure. Okay, so I'm back. I had to go to the app script assistant, but I don't want you to see any of the secret information I have. But just don't want you to see any of the secret information that I have. But what you can see is this was uploaded automatically because of that trigger that we have. And so it created that, the name, found the name, prompt, image description, and generated an image for us. So to see that image, we're going to go to our example folder for images, and then the one that was created today. Awesome. So that's the one to get. Quality, you can question it or however you want, but this is what was generated from Dolly given our prompt. So now the next one, it's still working on the next one right here. We're going to let that one go. And then I'm going to come back whenever it does get uploaded, and we'll talk through our next steps. So what I want to show you now is how you do it. If you don't want to sync it so that it uploads from Zimmwriter to your Google Drive automatically, you're going to go to that Zimmwriter folder. You're going to make sure that this is the ID that you have saved in your basics box. In here, make sure that's the ID you have saved for yours. And then you're going to want to take the outputs from Zimmwriter here. We're going to drag this into that folder for Zimmwriter. So awesome, these are saved. Then we're going to go back to our articles page. Have this one here, AI Assistant, upload from Zimmwriter folder. So it's going to loop through. It's going to find this article and it's going to fill all this information out here. So we see all the way through to, it's going to loop through. It's still working on this. Generated an image for us and generated an article for us. Awesome. So now that all that does get generated, so we're going to upload that next. Oh, well, first, I know a lot of people have mentioned that they want to convert the content to HTML. And so that's what this is going to be. I'm going to have the convert to HTML from Markdown. So what that does is it's going to loop through. As you can see, these are now in HTML format as opposed to Markdown. Awesome. So then what we want to do, we want to upload the articles. So we can either do upload the next article where it'll go to the next line if you want to do one at a time, or you can do upload all scheduled articles, which will upload them as scheduled. So what we're going to do is we're going to upload as scheduled. So what we'll look at here is it's going to upload these. We'll see this one got populated. So one of these got posted. That's the first one right here. And then the second one got posted. So all of those in the past got posted. If you want to do this, this is where I'd also recommend setting up a trigger. Every half hour, run that trigger so that it looks every half hour, so it looks to see which posts need to get published. So that way they get published at the pace that you'd like them to get published at. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what these look like. So this is going to be an example right here. I'm going to post it in here. And this is our post. Looks like how we want it to look. So that's awesome. So I hope you guys have found this content helpful. Again, please, if you do find this helpful, go to AI Assistant, donate to the creator. That'll just give me a little bit of money, hopefully to put back into developing tools such as this. Other tools, I think it would be cool to, there are a couple things I'm thinking about is to generate those subheadings. I think those would be awesome, or images for those subheadings, and then maybe even like a one-click thing where it's like, hey, this is what I want, give me a website that might follow this. And so I think that would be really cool. You can subscribe to my channel in order to stay up to date as I do create tools, but hopefully you guys find this helpful. Thanks.